step is to get rid of your dust container. All you have to do is push your latch in here, pull that away. Now I'd recommend keeping everything nice and neat so that you can access it later. Next part, just use your finger here and lift up that, and that allows your filter door to move out of the way. Flat blade screwdriver just goes in between this section and the arm, and gently twist that out and that'll pop away. Put that aside as well, along with your filter. Now the next part, you've actually got to take off both rear wheels. Flat blade screwdriver goes inside between the wheel and the body, push it in a couple of inches and that will lift off. Put that one aside, and then the same here. So in a couple of inches, just to show you, I'm only putting it in that far, and away it comes. Now there are 6 screws to get access to the motor cavity, and you're going to need a number 15 Torx driver to undo them. The screws are here, 1, 2, 3 up here, 4 in there, 5 and 6 on the wheel hub again. Now I'm just going to quickly undo these. Now as you're doing this, really pay attention to how neatly you keep your gear, because if you put it back together and you've got a screw left over, if you started with a nice clean bench, you know that it was relating to this project. The other thing is, whilst you're opening this up, it's a good opportunity to check for any material that's inside the motor cavity and to get that out. There's no point replacing a motor if it's going to be immediately inundated with dust and muck, because it's going to shorten its life straight away. Okay, all those screws are undone now. What's going to happen here is this whole back end is going to come away. What you have to do first though is just to pull out a foot or two of your cord retract, because if you don't, when you pull it out, the plug is actually going to force the cord retract to fall out, and it's just one more thing that you have to align properly. Now this just comes away. Now I can pick up the screws that I didn't quite grab before. And what we can see here is, with this machine, you've got easy access to the cord reel, the motor chamber and the switch, all in the one go. Now today we're going to look at the motor. All I need to do to pull this out is just literally to lift this whole chamber like that. To make it a little bit easier for myself, I'm going to unclip. You can just see here I'm undoing those, and what I'm going to do is release this blue wire which comes from the cord retract, and also my brown which is also from the retract. That gives me access to the whole motor chamber, and we've got it here. To release it, I just put my screwdriver back in here and lever it up, turn around and do the same to all of the 4 points. Just loosen it up, and there we go. Now the lid comes off and you can put that aside. Okay, now we've got access to our motor. All we have to do is just lift him out like a patty cake, and that comes out like that. Now just remember that we've got brown and red connected, so we'll disconnect those, and blue and black. Now it may be a different colour combination on yours, but if you just connect them back in the same order, then you're set. Now there's nothing wrong with our motor, but I am going to point out that this is a YDK type motor. Now the other type of motor that's commonly used by Dyson is a Pana motor, P-A-N-A. You can't take a Pana motor out and put a YDK motor back in. They're slightly different in this fan shape here, and they just won't fit. So just be aware to replace a YDK motor with a YDK. Now, in this case, we're just going to put it straight back in. So red and brown went together, like so, and blue and black. Now at this point, you've got to look down inside our cavity and see that we actually have a locator here, which we're going to need to extract because it makes it a lot easier if you put this onto the motor itself. Now it'll only fit into one set of screw holes, so as long as it's sitting in there nice and flush, it's in the right spot. Okay, now we've got our locator positioned. What we have to notice is that there are 3 points on our locator, which is going to line up with the 3 points in our base. Now, all we have to do is just lift this on, give that a little wiggle, and see how we've now got our locator lining up here. Flip it back over, and our motor is sitting in there exactly like it's meant to be. Now, we're going to grab our lid and notice that we've got one arrow, okay, around that motor. That points to the switch. So if you just line up and press that down, just press on each tab. Once you've got those 4 clicks, the motor is now ready to fit back in. Now remembering that your switch is on the left and that the terminals go towards the outside of the machine, what we're going to do is just join up our wires, brown going to the switch and blue to the other blue connector. Now at this point we've got to do a little jiggle, and we're lining up this whole square booty with the back of the Dyson. These 2 lugs here have to go into place in there and there. So what you've got to do is just generally position that like so. That's not quite in. Like so. Put your switch back in. Now there's a little step that the switch sits on. See there? And that sits into place. Now we have to tuck our cords back into their little locators like this. Okay. Now I'm just repositioning the cord retract, but I'm going to do that in another video. Okay, now with everything sitting in there, the easiest way to do this is to loosely fit the back end on and then tilt the whole machine up. What this is going to do is allow the motor to sit in there pretty straight. Now you'll never have to force this to make it sit in properly. It will line up evenly all around. If it's not, then something is not quite aligned inside. Before you put any screws on, just pull your cord out and test that it runs freely. That lets you know that the retract is sitting exactly where it's meant to be. From here, I'm just going to quickly put our screws back in. Remember, there's 2 on each side where the wheel goes in, 1 above the fan unit, one located to the left of the cord retract button, Okay, so that's all screwed back together. All we have to do now is fit our filter cover on, put one locator here in place and just gently push that one on. Our filter with the whole side out, lock that in. Our wheels go back on with our tongues lining up with the circle here, and there's a moderate amount of force required to put those back on. And our dust container back in. So that's how to fit a Dyson DC08 motor from Smart Alec at Vacuum Smart.